If a zombie apocalypse ever happened, most people would make the same mistake immediately. They would grab the loudest gun, the biggest gun, the scariest looking gun, or the one they saw in a movie. But real survival does not work like Hollywood. A good survival firearm is not just about power. It is about reliability, ammo availability, ease of use, weight, maintenance, common parts, and whether the gun still makes sense after the excitement wears off. Because in a long emergency, the best gun is not always the most expensive one. It is the one that keeps working when everything else becomes complicated. So today we're breaking down the only 10 guns Americans would actually need for a zombie apocalypse. Not fantasy picks, not ridiculous movie weapons. These are practical, real-world firearms that make sense because they are common, proven, and useful across different roles. And number 1 might be the most boring choice on the list, but also the smartest. Number 10, Ruger 1022. The Ruger 1022 may not look like an apocalypse gun, but that is exactly why people underestimate it. This little .22 LR rifle is one of the most practical firearms ever made. It is light, simple, easy to shoot, and supported by one of the biggest aftermarket ecosystems in the rimfire world. The biggest advantage is ammunition. 22 LR is small, light, and easy to carry in large quantities. That matters in any long-term survival situation. The 1022 is also excellent for small game hunting, pest control, and quiet practice where legal and safe. Now, it is not powerful. It is not a big game rifle, and it should never be treated like it can replace a centerfire rifle. But for survival usefulness, training, and low-cost shooting, the Ruger 1022 absolutely belongs on the list. Number 9, Glock 19. The Glock 19 is one of the most common handguns in America for a reason. It is compact enough to carry, large enough to shoot well, and chambered in 9mm, one of the most widely available handgun cartridges in the country. In a survival-style scenario, commonality matters. Magazines are easy to find, parts are easy to find, holsters are everywhere, and the pistol has a long reputation for reliability. The Glock 19 is not the fanciest handgun. It does not have the most beautiful trigger. It is not the most collectible pistol ever made, but it works. And in an emergency, boring reliability beats flashy design every time. For a sidearm, the Glock 19 is hard to beat. Number 8. Smith & Wesson M&P 9. If the Glock 19 is not your style, the Smith & Wesson M&P 9 is one of the strongest alternatives. It offers solid reliability, good ergonomics, widely available magazines, and a strong reputation among civilian shooters and professionals. The M&P line has improved a lot over the years, especially with newer trigger designs and better grip texture. For many shooters, the M&P 9 simply fits the hand better than a Glock. And that matters, because a handgun you can shoot well is always better than one that only looks good on paper. Like the Glock, it uses 9mm, which keeps ammunition availability strong. This is not the most dramatic pick on the list, but it is one of the most practical. Number 7, Mossberg 500. The Mossberg 500 is one of the most trusted pump-action shotguns ever made, and in a zombie apocalypse-style survival setup, a shotgun still has a role. The Mossberg 500 is simple, proven, and versatile. It can be used for hunting, home defense where legal, and general field use depending on the configuration and ammunition. One of its biggest strengths is flexibility. Shotguns can use different types of loads for different legal and practical purposes, from bird hunting to larger game applications where appropriate. The Mossberg 500 is also widely supported, with lots of parts, barrels, and accessories available. Now, shotguns have downsides. Ammunition is bulky, recoil can be heavy, capacity is limited compared to rifles. But as a rugged, general-purpose tool, the Mossberg 500 still earns its place. Number 6. Remington 870. The Remington 870 is another pump-action classic. Even though modern production history has had ups and downs, older 870s built a legendary reputation for strength, reliability, and wide use. The 870 has served hunters, law enforcement, and homeowners for decades. Its biggest advantage is how common it is. In a survival scenario, common platforms matter because parts, knowledge, and support are easier to find. Like the Mossberg 500, the 870 is not perfect. It is heavier than some people prefer. Some newer budget versions have not carried the same reputation as older models, but a good 870 is still one of the most useful shotguns ever made. For hunting and defensive preparedness, it remains a serious option. Number 5. Ruger American Ranch in 5. 56. NATO. This is one of the most underrated survival rifles on the market. The Ruger American Ranch in 5. 56. NATO gives you a compact bolt-action rifle chambered in one of the most common rifle cartridges in America. That combination is more useful than people realize. A bolt-action rifle is simple. It has fewer moving parts, it is easy to maintain, and it can be very accurate with the right ammunition. The 5. 56 NATO chambering makes sense because ammo is widely available and lighter than many larger rifle cartridges. This rifle is not as fast as an AR-15. It is not meant to be. Its strength is simplicity. For someone who wants a lightweight, practical, common caliber rifle that can handle range work, varmint hunting, and general preparedness use, the Ruger American Ranch deserves more attention. Number 4. AK pattern rifle in 7. 62 Kex 39. The AK pattern rifle has a reputation that is almost impossible to ignore. Its biggest strength is rugged simplicity. A good AK pattern rifle in 7. 62 Kex 39 can offer useful power, moderate recoil, and strong reliability when built properly. The 7. 62X39 cartridge is not a precision long-range round, but inside normal practical distances, it has proven itself for decades. It hits harder than 5. 56 at close to medium ranges and remains popular worldwide. Now, not all AK rifles are equal. Some are excellent, some are cheaply made and not worth trusting. That matters. The platform itself has strengths, but the quality of the specific rifle matters a lot. Still, as a rugged survival rifle, a reliable AK pattern gun absolutely belongs on this list. Number 3. AR-15 in 5. 56 NATO. The AR-15 may be the most practical centerfire rifle for Americans in a survival-style scenario. Not because it is perfect, but because it is everywhere. Ammo is common, magazines are common, parts are common, accessories are common, training knowledge is common, and that ecosystem is a massive advantage. A basic AR-15 from a reputable maker like Smith & Wesson, Ruger, IWI, Colt, BCM, Aero Precision, or Daniel Defense can serve as a reliable general-purpose rifle. The 5. 56 NATO cartridge is lightweight, easy to carry, and manageable in recoil. That makes the AR-15 easy for many shooters to handle well. Now, this is important. You do not need the most expensive AR-15 for survival value. A reliable, simple rifle is often smarter than an overbuilt setup loaded with unnecessary extras. The AR-15 takes number 3 because it is the most supported rifle platform in America, and support matters. Number 2, 308 bolt action rifle. Every serious survival battery needs a harder hitting rifle. That is where a 308 bolt action comes in. Rifles like the Tikka T3X, Ruger American, Savage 110, Bergara B14, and Hoa 1500 all give shooters practical 308 options at different price levels. The 308 Winchester is widely available, powerful enough for deer, hogs, black bear, and elk with proper bullets and smart shot placement, and proven across decades of use. A 308 bolt action gives you reach and authority that smaller rifles cannot match. It is useful for hunting, field use, and longer range practice, but there are trade-offs. Ammo is heavier, recoil is stronger, and the rifle is slower than a semi-auto. Still, for serious real-world usefulness, the 308 bolt action is one of the smartest choices anyone can own. Number 1. A reliable AR-15 pistol or carbine setup. The number 1 pick is not the biggest gun. It is not the rarest gun. It is not the most expensive gun. It is a reliable AR-15 carbine style setup. Why? Because it gives the best overall mix of common ammo, common parts, manageable recoil, good accuracy, lightweight, and broad usefulness. A 16-inch AR-15 carbine in 5. 56 NATO may not sound exciting, but it might be the most practical survival firearm in America. It can be used for training, defensive preparedness, where legal, varmint control, and general-purpose rifle use. It is easy to maintain, easy to support, easy to configure legally, and easy for many shooters to learn. That is why it takes the top spot. Not because it is dramatic, but because it makes sense. And in a zombie apocalypse, sense beats fantasy. The truth is, most people do not need a giant collection of strange guns for survival. They need reliable tools that are common, practical, and easy to feed. The Ruger 1022 gives you low-cost usefulness. The Glock 19 and M&P 9 give you practical sidearm options. The Mossberg 500 and Remington 870 give you shotgun flexibility. The Ruger American Ranch gives you bolt-action simplicity in a common caliber. The AK gives you rugged middle ground power, the AR-15 gives you the best support system in America, and and the 308 bolt action gives you reach and hunting authority. But here is the real lesson. A gun does not make someone prepared. Training matters. Safe storage matters. Legal responsibility matters. Fitness matters. Food, water, medical supplies, and planning matter too. Firearms are only one piece of the bigger picture. So if you are thinking about the only guns you would need for a zombie apocalypse, do not start with fantasy. Start with what actually works. Common calibers, reliable platforms, simple maintenance, and tools you can truly handle. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to subscribe to GUWise for more real-world firearm insights, because when everyone else is chasing movie weapons, the smart people are choosing guns that actually make sense.